lovely Virgo, and welcome to your love bonus for the month. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, check out your monthly general reading if you haven't had a chance. Otherwise, if you haven't had a chance to check out the poll I have on my site, I am just trying to find out what it is that makes you want to engage more, because one of the reasons I got on this channel was to try to engage with people more, and I don't get a whole lot of comments. I would love to get more. So just trying to find out what I could do to kind of bump that up. If you have any tips, hints, advice. Otherwise, without further ado, let's go ahead and find out what your love is looking like for this month, shall we? But if you do like this, like, subscribe, share, all the other great stuff, hit the notification bell, you know the drill. So anyway, let's get at it, shall we? This top row is indicative of where you are now. Time is fluid in tarot, so you may be in the throes of this already. You may not be quite there yet. The middle row is kind of what you don't see coming, or what should be happening throughout the month for you, hopefully. And the bottom row is Spirit's advice to you, or your higher divination, your communion of saints, your ancestors, your celestial beings, whomever you get your guidance from, okay? So we'll get some love clarifiers at the end, but let's go ahead and get started for you, shall we? So, wow, we're starting out with the Tower moment, Major Arcana, big drop, okay? So obviously y'all have come through something, okay? You're coming through something, and it is time. The universe is telling you that you need to shut it down and rebuild it up, okay? Because I feel like your relationship is just killing you, or has killed you, or has just been awful for you. It's been draining, life sucking, the whole 9 yards, okay? It's either been long-term that you've been putting up with this, and I get that vibe for most of you. To be quite honest, that's the vibe I'm getting for most of you, that you've tried, and tried again. And now it's just like, oh my gosh, I have to, you know, I'm not a quitter. I hate to give up. I hate to, but oh my Lord, oh my word, if I don't do something, you know. And the universe is saying, for the love of Pete, start over, right? Okay, so I feel like that's kind of what this is. It's almost like a hit over the head with a frying pan from the universe. Like, come on, right? So I don't feel like this is something where, you know, most of you, it's like a short-term thing where you've been like, well, this person is just not for me, so I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot and start over. I just don't see that. You know, for most of you, I feel like this is something that you tried, you did your best, you've really worked at. It's got to go, right? And your next card, your Three of Wands. So I feel like this is something where, you know, you're not at a place in this point to make a decision. You don't want to make a decision, or you don't have a decision to make yet. But you know, you need to kind of survey, you know, you're kind of like, what is it that I really want going forward? I know what I don't want for sure now, but you know, I kind of need to take stock. It's more like you're taking stock. You're like, I need to think about what I want. I need to, for some of you, it's taking stock of logistical things, right? So if it was a long-term relationship, you may have, you know, things in common. You may have children, you may have houses, bank accounts. You know, this may be something that's affected you on all levels of your life, not just like relationships, so heart, you know, but also bank account and families and everything in between, right? So, you know, you really have to take stock of everything. You know, where am I going to live? Where am I going to, you know, how are bills going to work out? We're separating bills, we're separating funds, you know, maybe we're going through a divorce, and, you know, so we've got court on top of all this other stuff, you know, so you're really in a surveying phase here, I feel like, okay? And so this King of Swords in reverse, to me, I personally feel like this is like your energy, okay? I feel like you have kingly energy, okay, gender neutral, and you are a strong, dominant power, okay? And I feel like with this, you could take on anything you wanted right now. And I also feel like, you know, if this person did you wrong, for some of you, I'm really feeling like maybe this was a situation where you were done wrong, okay? And that's why the universe was like, okay, you have to drop this. This has to stop, you know, but I feel like at this point you're harnessing in that energy, okay? Because you know it's best to conserve your energy right now, not drop to their level. You know, you could come out swords blazing, sword swinging. You could come into this situation fighting them for everything. You could come back at them. You could come and be really, really nasty if you wanted to. And you're just like, you know what? That's not me. I'm a king, queen, whatever you want to be, that kind of level, gender neutral, but you know, I know my worth, I know my power, and I don't need to drop down to that level anymore. What I need to do is just conserve my energy and decide how to use it appropriately. So I feel kind of like that's where you are now, okay? And again, time is fluid. So you may be just now coming into this tower moment or deciding on what to do with that, or you may be at the survey point, that kind of thing. So let's see what's coming throughout the month, okay? Well, surprise, surprise, the Four of Wands in reverse under your tower moment. Obviously, your foundation is rattled, okay? And again, like I said, I do feel like this was a long-term relationship or something you were invested in, for most of you, kind of a while coming, something you put a lot into, you tried for, you know, or you wanted for a long time, even if it didn't last a long time. You know, maybe it was a build up to this relationship, but for whatever reason, it's definitely rattled your foundation, okay, obviously. And I do, again, feel like it's in more ways than one, okay? So don't feel like it's just, oh, I'm heartbroken. No, I feel like you had more invested in it than that. So maybe you had things tied, financials, you know, maybe family members, maybe kids, maybe friend groups, all of this. So there's a lot more dynamics, right, that go along with this than just, you know, well, okay, I have a heartbreak, I'm going to go home and cry it off. You know, you're at that level where now this has affected much more, you know, maybe where you live, maybe where you, what, you know, how much money you have to spend every day, you know, all these things, you know. So I do feel like that is something that you are really going to have to address throughout the month, is, you know, all of these shaken up situations in your life. And I do feel like that is what you're really, you know, you're really surveying. And that's why I feel like you're conserving your energy, honestly, because you know that this is going to take work, and you're wanting to put a little mental thought into it first, okay, before you start just going, you know, hack at it. You want to really make sure that you're making good choices. The next card is the Four of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this, I believe, is where you start amping up, okay? I feel like this is where, and it's under your, you know, surveying Three of Wands to me, and I feel like that is where you are starting to amp up, and you're saying, okay, no rest for the weary, no time to chill, no time to be calm, okay? Foundation's broken. I've accepted the fact that all this stuff's gone down. I know what needed to happen. Now it's happened. But there's fallout, right? Anytime a tower comes down, there's fallout, you know, obviously, okay? And it's not just, again, it's not just, okay, I can cry this one off for a day or two and move on. You know, this is like, okay, now I have to find, you know, maybe places to live. Maybe I have to deal with court if it's a significant other you're married to. Maybe I have to, you know, deal with how we're gonna share the kids if you have kids, you know. Maybe it's something as simplistic as, you know, half the stuff on the TV apps were in their name and half are in mine, and who's gonna pay for the Netflix? I don't know. But you get the gist. There's a lot of logistics involved in this, right? So you're ready to tackle it, okay? You've assessed it. Now it's time to tackle it. You're ready to tackle it, right? You're ready to get things back in order, pull out your sword, right? Now you've done the mental part, you know, you've assessed it, you've had a moment to kind of lament over the shattered foundation, and that takes a processing moment. Of course it does. But I think you're ready to kind of go at it, you know, maybe late month, depending on how you grieve, how your process works, of course, depending on how long it takes you to kind of really feel like you have a good handle on things too, or how much you had tied up in this. So take that as it resonates. But again, but your last card here in the processing here is the World card. So again, I feel like with that being under your King of Swords card in reverse, I feel like this is where you get everything back together, okay? This is where you kind of come to a completion, where you get everything back in order, back together, back to what you needed it to be, okay? So you get things separated, you get things organized, you get bills straightened out, foundation straightened out, who's living where, who's doing what. You're back in a place that you feel like you've been successful enough to call it like a, you know, a completion of this tower moment. You are back on your feet. You feel like you can kind of move forward in a way, excuse me, allergies. You can move forward in a way that you are, you know, in a successful, completed stage with this enough, okay? There may still be lingering things out there. There always is, possibly, but, you know, you feel like you you're fairly confident that you've completed most things. You have your world back in order, right? So this is something that is really, really, really an accomplishment for you, right? Because you come out of a breakup, especially one that has all of these things, components combined, just getting yourself mentally back and even back kind of where you can be on stable footing, even if there's still, a divorce hanging out there for 2 years, whatever. When you're back in your temporary setting to where you feel like you're able to function on your own and you have yourself in a place and you're good for now, that is a remarkable accomplishment, and I think that that is huge for you and a huge win. So I think you'll be feeling so much better, okay? So let's see what we've got down here. What is, spirit or whomever you believe is your guiding factor, their advice to you, okay? So we have the 6 of Wands in reverse, okay? And again, I feel like this is spirit telling you, this tower had to come down. Stop trying to move it forward, okay? You're trying to create opportunities to move this forward. Stop it, okay? The foundation needed to crumble. It needed to come down. You needed to quit trying to make it move forward, build it up. You needed to quit, okay? Just stop, let it go, take a step back, okay? There'll be plenty more opportunities in the future, but they're opportunities for you, not futile opportunities that are wasted energy on something that is not positive, not going to work out in the long run. That would just be you putting a lot of effort into something that's not going to pay off, right? So I think that's spirit telling you, just stop. If you're still up here debating on this tower, you need to just stop, okay? You trying to move it forward is just spinning your wheels. You're going to be taking 1 step forward and 57 steps back. So don't do it, okay? So then we have the 7 of Pentacles, okay? And this is just telling me that, with anything, right? You have financial steps back when you break up. I don't care if you're fighting over who gets to keep the music collection, or, if you had a combined cell phone bill, who's going to pay that bill if you have to split the account, whatever it is. There's always something that's a step back, especially though, if you were living together, sharing accounts, sharing bills, sharing anything, okay? That is an effect. So here you are, you're plugging, chugging away, okay? And this is what Spirit's telling you to do. They're telling you, it's going to be something where it's going to just be you plugging it away, okay? Accept that. This is part of you really kind of just moving forward, right? That's just it. Keep on working. You're doing great. Really, that's Spirit just saying, you know what? You've surveyed it. You know what it's like. It may not be as, easy as pie, and you may not be rolling in the dough right now, but keep on plugging away. You're doing great, okay? Because it got you here, right? Whatever you're doing well. You're doing great, and you've got that authority, and you got that power, okay? So you may want to make a shift in your position work-wise. You may want to make a shift in this and that, but right now, whatever you're doing, just keep plugging away at it. Whatever choices you're making, they're obviously working for you. Whatever you're assessing and changing, it's working for you. So if this is saying, hey, take a different job, hey, take a side hustle and work away at that too. Whatever it is that you're needing to do it, because you're making good decisions. Trust in yourself. You're doing great, okay? And then your last card is Queen of Cups, right? So you turn that King of Swords, okay, that was upside down up here where you were harnessing all that power and you were holding it in. You've utilized it, okay, in a nice, capacity to create a base, safe space, world for yourself. And now you are sitting back on your throne in a way that you are surrounded by people that make you feel happier than this tower situation ever did, okay? You're putting out those queenly vibes. So now you are able to draw in kind of people that will really be a good fit for you, okay? So that you can actually turn this moving forward, all that 6 of Wands energy you spent wasted on this person in this relationship, you can use it with the relationships that are going to come in here to actually move forward in a very positive way, right? Because now you're putting out those queenly vibes, right? And when you're putting out vibes and you're saying, this is what I expect, this is what I am, and this is what I want back, that's what you're going to get back, right? The universe is going to give you back something on your level, okay? And you are back on your throne, feeling good, doing well, plugging away, holding it down. And, it's under your world card. You've got the strength, you've got the dominance, and you are, really feeling love. You're feeling better. Probably people are surrounding you that are support systems, your friends, your family, what have you. And that's going to make you feel even stronger. So I feel like, by the end of this month, next month, that kind of thing, depending on your timeline, whenever you feel like you're kind of back into yourself, you are going to feel so much better. It's going to be a whole different feeling than what you've been feeling for quite some time, because you're going to feel like you're independent, you're in control, and you're also, you're doing it, you feel better about yourself, and you feel happier, more relaxed, and more surrounded by people who treat you well, because that's all you're going to tolerate from now on. I can tell you that. Queen of Cups doesn't tolerate somebody to come in and treat them like, dirt. So you are moving in an absolutely fantastic direction. Okay. You are going to end so much better than you begin right here. So let's get 3 of these love cards to kind of clarify. We'll get one for each row and see kind of what Spirit has to say, any additional advice or enlightenment, and we'll close you out. Okay. So let's see what we got going on here for you. All right. So we have pay attention to red flags. And again, I think this is for those of you who may still be, kind of hanging out, waiting, or, trying to make something out of that relationship that is just not good for you. It's coming on this where Spirit's saying, stop putting so much effort into this because it's just a waste of your time. Spirit's telling you, look for the red flags, just stop. Okay. It's done. You need that tower to come down. And don't look back, okay? Don't go back, don't look back, let it fall, right? It's what's best for you, and it's going to get you to a better place. They come down for a reason, okay? This one says it is safe for you to love again, okay? And again, I feel like this is where, you have kind of come through a process and you've kind of got your world back in order. So by the time you get here, you can trust the decisions you've made. You're plugging away if you want to make different work decisions, if you want to keep plugging away at what you're doing, if you want to kind of, whatever it is that you're doing well. And I think Spirit realizes that. They've told you that, you're on your grind, right? And I feel like with this, it's telling you it's safe to love again. You're okay with that. So keep doing what you're doing. And if somebody comes into your life, that's great, but make sure that you're only accepting what you're worth, right? Don't let anybody breadcrumb you. Learn from whatever this tower moment taught you. Don't let anybody, give you less than what you're worth. Be careful of that. And this last one is past life relationships, okay? So again, I do think here, with this Queen of Cups energy, okay, this is telling me, again, that you are in control, you're back, you're feeling better. And again, like I mentioned before, I feel like you might be surrounded by people who want to be your support system, friends, family, that kind of thing. You're putting out those vibes. So here I'm feeling like past life relationships, there may be somebody, what Spirit may be telling you is somebody may be popping up that, you knew previously, when you were, in your past, before this past relationship, or, that you've known, not necessarily that you had a relationship with, could have just been a friendship. That's still a relationship, but a romantic relationship with. So, but maybe you did, maybe you had a relationship with them when you were, younger, much younger, and it just didn't set at that time because you weren't ready for it, right? Everything in its time, right? There's a time for everything, right? So, maybe somebody is going to come into your life that is a past relationship. And right now you're on the job, right? You are grinding it. You are running the show. You are, you're putting out those queenly vibes. So if this person is a match for you, then they are going to be perfect for you, right? It's going to be, if they feel like they are on your vibrational level and you're on theirs, it could be that they used to be, maybe you didn't want them back then because they were kind of a total hack, and now all of a sudden there's something, they've really made something out of themselves, and now you guys are on a level. You guys have both come through something together and, or, you know, separate, but you've both come through a similar situation. And now you're like, really like, now we get what it's like and what we need and what we want. And you're very, you know, but, you know, I would say very much so. Look out for somebody who you already know, somebody that might come back around that could be a perfect match for you, okay? So kind of keep that in mind, because you're going to be on point. You know, you're going to be putting out those vibes, and, you know, people are going to be reading that, and it could be somebody who could be coming in. And with it being under your world card, I would not be surprised if it is not a super successful match. So anyway, I hope this does resonate with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. I'd love to hear from you. And otherwise, I will be putting up this weekend weekly readings, and I will be putting up moon readings soon as well. So if you haven't hit the notification bell, please do. You don't want to miss those. And I'll see you back soon. Bye.